Hey students, welcome back to BB Simplified by Dr. Vinky Sharma. Today we begin with our Unit 5 and we are going to end the marathon class on the subject Business Organization and Ethics. This unit named Business and Society. This unit explains how business and society depends on each other, how business objectives have changed over time, and why modern businesses must focus on ethics, responsibility, and professional management. So let's start learning how business plays a key role in shaping the society and how society influences business in return. So starting with the introduction, we say that business and society are deeply connected and interdependent. A business cannot survive without the society. Why? Because it needs its customers, employees, workforce, maybe government support, technology, and social approvals. And at the same time, society also depends on the business for the goods and services, employment, innovation, economic development. So business and society, they have two-way relationship. Business draws resources from the society, uses them to create the value, and then return these benefits to the society in the form of job, products, taxes, and development. Now let's understand that what are the changing concepts of business. The concepts of business has changed significantly over time. If we start talking about the traditional concept, under this approach, the only purpose of the business was profit. There was little focus on the social responsibility, consumer rights, employee welfare, or environmental protection. But if we talk about the modern concept, today the businesses, they are seen as the social institutions. So they do care for their customers, they provide fair wages, follow ethical practices, contribute to the society, protects the environment, ensure the suitable operations as well. So these modern business, they understand that long-term growth is possible only when the society supports and trusts the business. So just like the concepts of the business have changed, similarly its objectives have also changed. So again, if we start talking about the traditional objective, we saw that they had only fewer objectives, which was only profit making, survival in the market or the industry, and their own growth. But these were purely economic goals. And when we look at the modern objectives, these businesses now today, they aim to balance the economic, social, as well as ethical goals all together. So it includes customer satisfaction, innovation, employee welfare, social responsibilities, environmental protections, ethical compliances, and long-term sustainability. So this shift shows that business success is no longer measured only through the money, but also through the social impact, culture, as well as responsibility. Now let's understand the importance of social orientation in the business. Why there was a need that the modern organizations or any of the industry has to leave their economic goal aside and had to give the importance to the social orientation. Why? Because in today's environment, we see that businesses, they are more social oriented. They do think about the society while making any of their business decisions. And it has been seen that a socially responsible company, they earn the public trusts, they reduce the legal risk, they are able to build a strong reputation in the industry, they have strengthened their customers' loyalty and also ensured the long-term survival. So, for example, if we talk about, we can talk about Tata, Infosys, Amul. They have consistently practiced ethical values and have contributed to the social development. So these companies, they enjoy high goodwill. Why? Because of one factor, that is they view society and they themselves feel responsible and trustworthy for the society. Now let's understand that what is professionalism of business. Here, professionalization means managing business activities with experts' knowledge, proper skills, and ethical standards and systematic procedures. So there are certain characteristics of professionalized businesses that include that they have skilled managers, they have a formal code of conduct, they believe in providing training and development so that they can improve their professionalism. They do have a performance based system, and there is a lot of transparency in the entire system. So today these modern businesses, they rely on professionally qualified managers, like they have MBA graduates, chartered accountants, HR specialists, marketing and finance experts, which helps the organization to actually improve their own efficiency, to reduce the corruption, and to build a strong ethical culture. Now we say that professionalism brings tremendous value to the modern organization, which means that businesses are run by trained experts, qualified managers, and individuals who actually follows the ethical standards and systematic procedures. So let's understand these major benefits one by one. The very first one is a better decision making. We all understand that when professionals handle the business operations, of course, the decisions are made on the basis of facts, data, and expert analysis. They are not making any decision on personal judgments or the guessworks. So this leads to smarter, faster, and more reliable decisions that support the organization growth ultimately. Next is the improved efficiency. Of course, because professional management, they ensure that the work is done through proper planning, coordination, and control. So these processes, they become streamlined, their wastages is reduced, and the productivity increases significantly. And this overall improves both financial as well as their operational performance. Next is ethical behavior. Professionals are trained to follow a formal code of conduct, which means that they maintain the honesty, transparency, and fairness in all the activities. Ethical behavior, it creates a healthy working environment, and it also strengthens the trust among the employees and stakeholders. Then we talk about reduced corruption. So when systems and rules are followed strictly, of course, there is a less chance of favoritism, bribery, or maybe misuse of power. So here professionalism builds the accountability, and it also ensures that every action is monitored and justified. Then we talk about it enhances the corporate image, which means that when companies, they run by competent and ethical professionals, they are actually gaining a positive reputation in the entire industry. Their customers, they trust them more, the investors, they prefer them more, and also the employees, they also feel proud to be associated with them. So a strong corporate image becomes a long-term competitive advantage for their organizations. Then we say yes, ensures long-term stability. So the organizations, they are not dependent on one person or one leader. There are systems, policies, and there are trained managers that actually ensures the continuity and the long-term success of any organization. When we include it or attach it with the professionalization, it helps them to protect the business from sudden disruptions and also builds a strong foundation for their future. So overall, professionalization has helped any of the organization to improve the quality of management. It has helped in strengthening the ethics and also make organization more efficient and sustainable in the long run. Now let's come to the next part of the unit, that is business ethics. Business ethics refers to the moral values and principles that guide business decisions and behavior. So in today's competitive world, ethics is not optional, it is essential for survival. This is one thing that you all need to understand. Why? Because it helps to decide what is right, fair, and responsible. These ethical business practices, they include various factors such as honesty in communication, fairness in the dealings with the customers and their other stakeholders, respect for employees, transparency in the financial practices, and responsibility towards customers and the society. So companies that follow ethics, they gain long-term trust, stability and goodwill. So it is said actually that ethics is equals to foundation of a responsible business. We will now understand the Gandhian philosophy in the business. Mahatma Gandhi has given a philosophy which has great influence on the Indian business culture. He had believed that business should be run with truth, non-violence, fairness and service to the society. So key Gandhian principles in the business actually includes, the first one is truth or satya, which means that honest dealing with the customers and employees should always happen. Next, he had talked about non-violence or ahimsa, that means no exploitation of workers or consumers. Then he had talked about trusteeship. He said that business leaders are the trustees of society's wealth. Then he had focused on the simplicity, which said that we must avoid waste and unnecessary luxury. And finally, overall, if we talk about them, they all make it a ethical leadership style. So there are many Indian companies, especially the Tata Group, if we talk about, it has always followed the concept similar to the Gandhians' ideology. That is nothing but promoting fairness, social welfare and ethical responsibility. Now let's talk about one of the most influential ethical philosophies in Indian business history, that is the Gandhian concept of trusteeship. Mahatma Gandhi believed that business should act now not as owners but as trustees of the society's resources, right? So not the owners but the society's trustee. This means that wealth, power and resources are not meant to be exploited for personal gains alone. Instead, they must be used responsibly for the benefit of the entire society. So under this trusteeship, businesses are seen as caretakers who had resources on behalf of the community. They have the right to earn profit, but those profits must be ethical, fair and socially responsible. So now what does this philosophy imply for the business? The first we talk about is wealth used for the society, meaning companies must reinvest a portion of their earnings into the education, health or maybe welfare and the national development for the society. When we talk about fair wages, this means that employees should be compensated justly. They must ensure the dignity and a dignified or a decent living of standards they must have. There should be no exploitation, whether it is a worker, customer or the environment. Businesses must avoid harmful or unfair practices. Then the ethical profits, this means that profit is acceptable but not at the cost of morality or the public welfare. Equality and social justice. This means that companies must contribute to reducing the inequality and creating the opportunities for everyone, right? For example, in a modern organization, when we talk about this trusteeship concept, like in Tata Trust, which is actually a channel and a significant share of the Tata Group's profit, they contribute into the social welfare activity. Their work is into healthcare, education, rural development and even the disaster relief reflects the Gandhian's vision perfectly when we talk about the Tata Trusts. So in essence, we can say that Gandhian trusteeship, it connects the business success with the moral responsibility. So it always reminds us that the true prosperity is meaningful only when it benefits the society at large. Now let's understand what is organizational culture. This culture refers to the shared values, beliefs, attitude and practices within a company. It is the personality of the organization actually, right? So there are very strong positive cultures and then there are some negative cultures, but we will only understand and talk about the concepts that helps the companies to build the positive culture. So it includes work ethics, communication styles, leadership styles, innovation mindset, team collaboration, respect for the employees. So when the culture is ethical and supportive, employees also work with motivation and loyalty. So overall, this culture actually influences the productivity, employee satisfaction, customer services, and overall success of any organization. Now let's explore the four major types of organizational culture, which actually shapes how people work, make decisions, and interact with any business. The first type is the power culture. In a power culture, the control lies in the hand of few individuals only. That is why it is called as centralized authority. Usually, these few individuals are from the top management. Decisions are very quick, and the entire organization revolves around a strong leader. This culture works well in the small or growing businesses where one person's vision drives everything. Then is the role culture. Here, in case of role culture, we are talking about, or maybe we can say that it is highly structured and it is based on the rules and responsibility. Very formal procedures are strictly followed here. Right, the job descriptions are specified, the responsibilities are specified, every person know their role, so there is no confusion. The authority generally flows through the hierarchy, and the procedures, they are also guided all the actions. So this culture is commonly seen in the government departments. Next is the task culture. In a task culture, the focus is on the teams and project based work, or maybe the collaborative projects. The power is given to the groups of people who have the expertise. So here rank may not matter much, right? Like innovation, flexibility, problem solving, they are the key features of this culture. In this culture, it is actually ideal for the IT companies, the startups, and the research organization. And the fourth type of organization culture is a person culture. So it is basically individual oriented. So in this, the individuals come first, people work independently, and the organizations exist primarily to support the expertise of its members. So this is also, very common in law firms like consultancy agencies and the professional studios, so where professional operates automatically. Therefore, together we can say that these four cultures, they show up how organizations differ in their structures, into their value systems, and that how the business supports their goals. Now let's understand the importance of organizational culture. It actually plays a crucial role in shaping how the company functions, how it behaves, and ultimately how successful the organization becomes. So let's look at why it is so important. The first one is, we say that culture shapes employee behavior. It influences how people communicate, take decisions, collaborate, and respond to the challenges. Wherever we see that there is a positive culture, it will definitely encourage the discipline, respect, and the ownership at work. Second, it improves overall performance. When the employees understand the organization's value and the expectation, they also work more efficiently and stay focused on the common goals. Third, the culture builds a strong identity, wherein it helps in creating a unique character for the company, something that differentiates it from others, and also helps in strengthening its brand in the market. The fourth importance is that it supports innovation. The good culture is always the one that is supporting the innovation. So when employees feel safe to share their ideas and experiments, they become more creative. So there the creativity thrives, and that this is why the companies with open and flexible culture, they often lead in innovation. The fifth one is that organizations culture helps in enhancing the employee satisfaction. When people feel respected, valued, and aligned with their organizations, then they are happier at the work and are more committed and satisfied. So we can actually see the example of Google, which always focuses on the culture that is more innovation based. If we talk about Infosys, there the culture is more of the ethical based. Having a look on technology and its impact on business, we can say that it has become one of the biggest drivers of the change in today's business world, because modern technology, it is influencing almost every function within an organizations and also shaping how companies operate, compete and grow. So let's understand their key features. They are influenced by production, right? So automation, robotics, AI driven mechanism, they make production more faster and more accurate. Next is marketing. Technology has revolutionized the entire marketing style. Digital marketing, social media, SEO, and analytics, they allow businesses to reach the global audience today. Then we talk about the human resource management. Technology has definitely influenced HRM. Tools like HR softwares, online recruiting platforms, there are employee tracking systems, and e learning platforms. It has again made hiring, training, and various functions of HRM more efficient. The fourth one, when we talk about finance, there we can see the influence there also, like we have online banking, digital payments, blockchains, and the financial softwares. They have made the transactions more faster and safer. Then when we talk about communication, then we see tools like email, video conferencing, instant messaging, and then there are some collaboration apps also that helps the teams connect across the locations, right? And then we talk about customer management. The customers are also very important for any organization. So the CRM system, the chatbots, now we see AI based support and the personalizational tools, that they have helped companies and serve the customers faster and more efficiently. So overall, or to sum up, we can say that modern technology such as AI, automation and digital marketing, it is reshaping how the business operates at every level. So companies that adopt the technology quickly, they gain major competitive advantage as compared to the other who are more slow in adopting to these technologies. We say that technology has transformed both business and society. So there are advancements such as smartphones, automation, AI, e-commerce and digital payments. They have changed how business operates and how people live into those environments. There can be, various technological changes that have changed the societal changes as well, like improving the communication, the online education system that we see, where there is a digital transaction system, UPI. Even a vegetable vendor knows how to use this digital transaction or a UPI system. We today live in a world of e-commerce. There are various online platforms wherein we can buy or sell our products. The culture of remote work has also come up and has brought a change in the system and work culture and how the companies operate in this world. Then there the influence of social media and the awareness of social media. We see there are lots and lots of opportunities that can be taken with the help of social media also, specifically in buying and selling of the product, maybe also in finding the jobs. And we have seen that there has been improving medical and financial services, improved healthcare has also been observed. So at the same time, businesses must use the technology responsibly so that they ensure the data privacy, cyber security and the fair access to all, because with the advent of this technology, there have the entrance of lots of frauds as well, or the limitations or the negative side of technologies as well. So organizations need to ensure that they are using all the ethical practices here. Now, as we already understood that while technology has brought enormous benefits to the business and society, it is also creating several major challenges that the organizations must handle. So let's look at these key challenges. The first one is that there is a challenge for job displacement, because there is an advent of, or there is a coming up of automation, AI and robotics. So it may replace the manual jobs, especially those involving the routine tasks. Then we see that technology has raised serious privacy issues also. Businesses collect massive amount of customer data, and if this data is misused or leaked, then people's personal information can be compromised. Then we say that there is a increasing cyber security risks also. As companies go digital, they become more vulnerable to the hacking or malware or the phishing, right? And then there could be a theft of data as well. So a single cyber attack can actually cause huge financial loss and can damage the reputation of any organization. We also face digital divide. Not everyone has equal access to the technology, because there are some small businesses or the rural areas, or maybe the regions that are underdeveloped. They may struggle to adopt these new tools or create. So this creates the inequality in the opportunities and the growth. And we say that there is a skill mismatch. As the technology advances, the skill required also needs a change. So employees may not have a technical skill needed for the new system, and the companies, they often face a shortage of trained digital talent. So while technology drives progress, it also brings challenges that cannot be ignored. So the answer to this problem is that business must manage these responsibilities through proper training of the employees, ethical data practices. They must have a strong cyber security and the inclusive policies, because that is something that can only ensure that technological changes are benefiting everyone and also supporting the sustainable growth. Another aspect of this unit talks about social responsibility of business, or SRB. This means that business must act in a way that benefit the society and not just make the profit. So a socially responsible business must always think about protecting consumers, ensure employee welfare, avoid pollution, support community development, follow ethical market, and respect laws and regulations. So they have their responsibilities towards each section of the society. Like companies that set up schools, hospitals, or skill development centers, or engaging in environmental sustainability, they are all examples of social responsibility of the business. Then there is something called as like there is SRB, there is something called as CSR also, that is corporate social responsibility. It is now mandatory for large Indian companies under the Companies Act. Now let's understand the major areas where companies are expected to act responsibly. First, business must ensure fair wages. Every employee deserves to be paid adequately for their work without any exploitation or discrimination. Second, we say that companies must provide safe working conditions. This includes clean workplace, proper safety equipments, health facilities, and the compliance with the labor laws. Third is that organizations have a duty towards consumer protection. They must offer high quality product, honest information, fair pricing, and responsive customer services, because misleading advertisements or unsafe goods, they violate the consumer rights. Then we talk about that business must focus on environmental sustainability. This includes reducing pollution, managing waste responsibility, conserving resources, and adopting eco-friendly processes. Then we say that companies should contribute to the community development, which means that involve into educational programs, healthcare initiatives, some skill development programs, or maybe the upliftment of the rural areas. Then we talk about the ethical governance. It is essential. Why? Because this means transparency, honesty, and compliance with the laws. So there are many major Indian companies that set excellent example in the social responsibility, like Reliance CSR, Tata CSR, Infosys. They have their Infosys Foundation. They have significantly contributed to the education and healthcare, and also the rural development. So these social responsibilities, it is not again just a legal requirement, it is a moral duty also for the large companies that actually strengthen the societies and also enhances the long-term success of the business. Social audit. What is social audit? It is a process of evaluating how well a company meets its social responsibility. So it is similar to the financial audits, but here the focus is on the social impact. A social audit examines the employee welfare, environmental impact, community development activities, ethical behavior, consumer protection efforts as well. So it helps stakeholders understand whether the company is truly contributing to the society or merely claiming to do so. A good social audit increases transparency, accountability, and the public trust. Now, let's understand that a social audit is not just a formal evaluation, it is a powerful tool for strengthening the relationship between business and society. Therefore, we will also focus on certain benefits of the social audit. The first one it talks about is that a social audit builds a public trust, which means that when a company openly shows how it contributes to the society and how ethically it operates, people also begin to trust the brand more. Transparency increases the confidence among the customers. Then we say that it improves CSR programs. By reviewing the social initiative, companies can identify what is working and what needs to be improved. So a social audit helps organizations plan better CSR strategies because that truly benefits the society instead of just being symbolic activity. Then third is that it enhances company reputation. Of course, any business that regularly conducts the social audit is seen as honest, responsible, and accountable more towards the society. Then we say that a social audit ensures ethical compliances, which means that whether the company is actually following the laws, ethical standards, and its own internal policies. So here we need to put a check on. This helps in reducing the chances of corruption and misuse of the funds. Then it also helps in the decision making. So these social audits, they provide the valuable data about the community needs, the welfare of the employees, or the environmental impacts. So this information helps leaders to make more smarter, or maybe socially responsible decisions that align with the long-term organizational goals. Therefore, in short, we can say that a social audit helps the business become more transparent, ethical, and socially responsible, and ultimately contributing to the sustainable growth for both itself as well as the society. Whatever we have covered in this unit, let's quickly summarize. We had learned that what is business and the society relationship. We had talked about how the business objectives are changing. We have learned what is professionalism, what is business ethics. We have also learned about the philosophy given by Gandhi, or the Gandhian philosophy. Then the another part had covered the meaning and aspects of organizational culture. We had seen that how technology has bring in the change into the society. And then finally we have learned about the CSR and corporate social responsibility and the social audits. We will now quickly look at the important exam questions, like explain the changing concepts and objectives of business, what is professionalization, discuss its importance, explain Gandhian philosophy, define organizational culture, discuss the impact of technological development, what is social responsibility in business, one of the most important and a very common question that has come, and what is social audit, what are its benefits. With this, we finish the entire unit of the course Business Organization and Ethics. Thank you so much for learning with BBA Simplified by Dr. Vinky Sharma. Do like, share, and subscribe for more marathon classes. Thank you so much for watching.